Day 2 of the NFL draft has concluded for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they just continue to draft guys on the offensive side of the ball. I know what you're probably saying to yourselves, Lovie Smith must be going crazy back here, but General Manager Jason Licht told us that behind the scenes, he's actually doing cartwheels over these picks. And I'll tell you what, this is 9 straight players now between this year and last year, 9 straight guys that are drafted on the offensive side of the ball. But they really feel like this draft, they've gotten a whole lot better. Of course, yesterday, Thursday, they drafted Jameis Winston with that first overall pick. And then today, they got him some much-needed protection. They drafted an offensive tackle in Donovan Smith out of Penn State. And then they traded back into the second round to grab Marpet, a guard out of Hobart College. As far as Marpet goes, Jason Licht said that this is probably his favorite player in the draft. Comes from a very tiny school, a D3 school, but he got an invite to the Senior Bowl, moved from tackle to guard, and really showed scouts from all the teams what he's capable of doing. They thought he was very coachable. They thought he progressed very, very quickly, and he has the core strength to be able to play guard. A lot of guys do that, but they thought that he did that really exceptionally well and had a number of snaps there too. So they got a good look at him, and he followed that up with a really impressive performance in Indy at the Combine. And of course, you sit down and talk to him, you can see why they were so impressed with him. Now, this is a good move for the team because they weren't able to sign Dan Connolly. Still don't know where he's going to end up, but they need a really strong presence opposite Logan Mankins, not only for quarterback protection, but to really help get this run game going again. Now, as far as that offensive tackle in Smith, the Bucs had to part ways with Anthony Collins, and otherwise DeMar Dotson was going to have to move over to that left tackle spot. And they still were going to have a need there unless they wanted to use Kevin Pamphile over there. But they feel that DeMar Dotson is better suited for the right side, and they wanted to use Smith, who started 3 consecutive years at Penn State at left tackle. They feel he's best suited there. Praised his athleticism and also his long arms. So ultimately, they really feel like these guys could possibly play right away. It's not going to be an easy transition for any offensive lineman to go ahead and start in the NFL, but they are hopeful that this will happen. And afterwards, I got to say, Lovie Smith says he's going to be sleeping a lot easier from here on out because they were able to address these really 3 key needs that were heading into the draft. Now, I know a lot of people have asked me what from here on out. Pass rusher is something that they could be focusing on, and I had asked Light about that earlier. I know we had said before that there's still a lot of depth in this draft, a lot of guys, really even in later rounds, that you can grab as pass rushers, and he still feels that way. So there are some good guys on the board. Don't lose hope there. And there are a number of other positions. They could go safety as well. I think Lovie Smith is always wanting to bolster that secondary. So perhaps on day 3, we finally will see some defensive players that are added. But again, these 3 key additions are very, very important to this team, very important for them to go into this draft and address those needs. You never want to go into a draft having needs, but with what Light said, getting a pass rusher, but also, too, they're probably going to go best available. They were able to check off all their boxes for the most part, though, today. Reporting from One Buck Place with Sports Talk Florida, I'm Jenna Lane.